Good evening, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy penultimate Livedub stream day. The second to last of our Acolyte Livedubs is finally here. And of course, in true cliffhanger fashion, we are going to be leaving you on quite the note today. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First off, welcome back, Saribot. Glad to have you here after you not being here for a while. It's alright, YouTube, you won't get it. It's fine. Point is, my anti-bot, chatbot, is so heckin' back. Let's go. But no, happy Saturday. Hope everybody's weekend is off to a good start so far. Hopefully you guys are nice and happy, nice and content, because I'm ready to destroy that. I mean, I'm ready to have a nice, wholesome stream with everybody. Man, look, oh, it's so good. It's so funny.
Why when I said
microwave
that?
noise.
I don't know.
Who didn't press the button before it went off? Damn it.
You guys were not quiet enough.
I burned the popcorn.
You woke up the whole house.
Now all of China knows you're reheating something.
It'll be really hot in the middle and really cold on the bottom. My hot
Oh,
dog,
God.
my pizza rolls, my taquitos.
One thing all of China will not see is your damn stream on this frickin' talk.
No, color the thing. The
Oh, you're
bit.
right.
No!
I always forget
stream
one
too,
thing.
man.
It is that thing today.
The bit, though.
I was just gonna.
Oh, whatever.
I was just gonna be like, and keep.
Who posted
I
twerking
was just
Mario
gonna
in the
quote
chat?
Shout of the Hedgehog. Yeah, that's fine.
Guys are boring.
Oh my god.
It's like
Well,
a
welcome
50%
on in,
chance of
everybody. Glad to have y'all back. This is the second to last time we get to do this. And you all die. I mean,
Wait, what?
leave.
It's
I
over,
mean,
Ackle.
I
Cry because
mean-
it happened.
Does the sweet release of death count as taking a break?
Yes.
For some people.
Oh, wonderful.
Hell yeah.
Well,
We can bring you back. It's okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's what the Waweg board's for.
I have a DNR on my body.
Ouija board.
I have an entire mad science lab. I can make this happen.
But no, I hope you guys are ready for another good one today. As y'all, if y'all missed last week's episode, highly recommend checking out the YouTube and checking out the VODs, catching up, obviously. This VOD should be out hopefully Wednesday. I've given myself quite the turnaround time with getting these ready for Wednesday. Yeah, no, there's a reason why I only do these like once a year now. This takes a lot of work. Oh god.
It's okay.
worth
We
it,
love
though.
you for it.
It's so worth. Honestly, with like the little like with the slight me getting better in like editing and doing like frame cuts and whatnot for the VODs, it has been so worth it. I am very happy, and again, I'm happy that all of y'all have been enjoying the ride, just like with Tavern Talk or Coffee Talk. That one, I'm never gonna
Right.
not confuse him.
Take a
Talk,
drink
talk.
every time he confuses the two.
You know what? You're right. In fact,
It'll
Just
be
like
wasted
other
by the end of the
talk
stream.
game.
that was me. That was me yesterday during Salmon Run.
Oh, Jesus.
Color members.
Yeah, your husband's dead.
Yeah,
Anyway,
my husband's
moving
dead.
on.
Huh?
What do you mean? Zephyr's
we're
still
moving.
here.
Yeah, that was a heck of a thing. Like I jumped in, I saw you were there at like 2 in the morning my time. Like, what the hell are you doing up at 2 in the morning here? And you're just like, I'm like 2 drinks in, my husband's dead. I'm like, all right, well y'all have a good night.
All right,
YouTube
I have
YouTube
several
is not going
questions.
to understand half of this, and you know what? I'm keeping it in.
Inside
Anyway.
jokes will explain after stream.
Yeah. But anyway, I think y'all know the protocol at this point. I'm ready to just dip in. I'm ready to go. We've got everything started up. I've taken the time beforehand to make sure that all the sound stuff is right, so I don't fuck up like in episode 5. So without further
actor's
ado,
disclaimer? Okay.
oh, I thought you did that while I was muted.
You never
and
told
were
me to do that.
preparing the
No,
micro.
Color didn't reprimand us.
You know
I'm
what?
seeing not enough communication in this team.
You know what? You're right. Here, we'll take a quick little break. You know what? I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna be smart, and I'm gonna preempt this. We'll do a quick little ad break, because then I can smash cut, and you can do the actor's disclaimer during.
All
Big brain.
right.
Okie dokie. So now that we got the early ad break out of the way to get the actor's disclaimer and whatnot, now we are ready to begin and resume where we left off on our first of 3 days today. Act 3, Chapter 20, Chaos Protocol.
Innkeeper! Surprise!
Ah, nice to see that you're back. Is Fable with you?
No! Should they be?
They were looking for you.
They aren't a very good detective then.
I'm happy to see you're well, Melly. Everyone was very worried about you.
Why? I'm great at taking care of myself.
You are. But where have you been all this time?
Investigating things, obviously. Like the flood. My investigation led me to Morlia. Or more like, I did. Nico, Boy, and Hex, I mean. I followed them to Morlia. They were talking about mysteries and puzzles. And I'm trying to solve a mystery, so... I couldn't let the opportunity pass me by.
You're lucky. People usually pay a lot of money to spend time with me.
Why?
Because I'm famous?
But I didn't go there because of you. I was following clues.
Okay.
I stayed outside. My case isn't about a wizard. Not this time.
Where's Hex, anyway?
You know, doing wizard things.
Like... arson?
That would have been fun, but instead he chose to study.
Fireball.
Anyway, he immediately wanted to check out the spells we found.
Though he seemed pretty disheartened.
How come?
Not sure. I guess he didn't find what he was looking for. Maybe because the world's greatest treasure was already traveling with him.
And what would that be?
Never mind.
Oh, I love messing with you.
He told us to keep an eye out for any time magic razzle-dazzle. But we found nothing.
Well, at least you managed to get inside and return safely.
Yeah, the way there was easy peasy. We got there thanks to Nico pulling off a shape-shifting trick and pretending to be a merchant.
Stole some guy's coat and face, and used reputation to secure a boat ride to Morlia. Said I wanted to meet with a real estate agent from the Magocracy to buy the island. I told him to pick us up in a week or so. By then we'd be far gone.
What happened when you reached the island? I'm quite intrigued.
Before we tell you anything, I would like a drink. Something that goes down like honey and will make my poetry flow like a wild river.
Nothing easier than that. Well, you said honey, so of course we have to use the honey flowers. And something sweet would be obviously the sunny breeze. Let's give you all of the
how
charisma.
delectable.
There we go. A little bit of the purple. And you know what? You don't need to attack today. We're going to give you some extra riz.
As if I need it.
Everybody needs more. You can never not have enough. Some honey for those vocal cords. Enjoy.
That's what I'm talking about. Amazing.
Can we move on to the story now?
You got somewhere to be?
Your mama's. Nah, but I'm getting bored.
Oh, you got me.
We got to Morlia, an island so small it's basically the tower's wild backyard. As I walked between the crystalline roses, I expected to see secret passageways, hiding behind every corner. I almost brought you back a rose.
Why didn't you?
Well, I thought you wouldn't like it.
Have you seen you? I would have.
Damn it. Oh, okay, that's, moving on. The tower itself reached so high I thought it might be reaching out to kiss the moon itself.
It was really tilted. And about a 5-degree angle. I measured it with my paws. The bricks were still wet. I'm sure the tsunami shook its foundation.
Well, I'd think the waves would have done us a favor and knocked down the door, but nope.
That locked door was the first challenge. Iniko's lockpicks broke. Seemed like a skill issue.
Broke? Skill issue? Bro, the door ate my lockpicks!
No, I still think it's a skill issue.
Door mimic. Classic first step to securing your establishment.
You know all about that, wouldn't you?
What do you mean?
Yeah, you talk like you've seen one before.
What do you mean?
Hmm.
Have you ever tried to open my door when the inn's closed?
No.
If you do, don't use any lockpicks and take care of your fingertips.
You really aren't beating those allegations, are you?
What allegations? I'm just fine. They're a helpful compatriot and definitely not my uncle. Anyway, so how did you two get inside?
By charming it. Hex forgot his spellbook and couldn't get the arcane lock-unlock spell to work. And obviously, it wouldn't let us in just like that. So I decided to play the mimic a tune.
You don't want to know where that tail was. Yeah, that was amazing, bro. Your fancy tunes are the goat.
I don't understand these words. I was nervous. I'd never played in front of a mimic before, so I wasn't sure what their taste in music was. I decided to play something emotional, something that would melt its metaphorical heart, or whatever they may have. A song of woe.
thought it would literally melt.
Yeah. I began playing the first tune, and the lock started weeping before I reached the chorus. Tears were streaming down its face.
And as if they were very hot or made of acid, the door melted away.
Afterwards, the lock lay in a puddle of wood, sobbing and thanking me for my performance.
That's not a very sturdy lock.
It just sounds very in touch with its emotions.
We stepped over the door's remains and into the tower. It was so much taller and bigger on the inside.
Like a pocket dimension. So freaking cool!
Except a tower can't really fit in your pocket.
Bet.
Oh dear.
I don't want to see what's in his pockets.
X walked ahead. Guy was really distracted.
He didn't even listen to my poem about the symbiotic relationship between axe and door.
For a long time, we didn't encounter anything. Just a long hallway. No doors, only a bunch of strange paintings. Of course, most hallways can't go on forever, so eventually we reached a staircase.
After what felt like 5.5 minutes,
Did you have to backwards long jump up it?
Yahoo!
as a matter of fact,
Alrighty.
Meanwhile, I was outside investigating the flora and fauna. Everything was very peculiar, like it was all from another world. The colors were different, very blue and almost spectral. Oh, and there were a lot of spider webs, or yarn, but not really sure which. Suddenly, the ground shook and almost knocked me off my feet.
Who could have guessed there was a pressure plates on those stairs? Oh wait, me.
I wasn't paying attention and was too careless. One wrong step and a pressure plate triggered an explosion and... Ooh.
Clunk! The whole staircase began crumbling down to a pit of nothingness.
Bit by bit, starting from the bottom.
I rushed upwards to safety away from the weird wizard abyss.
I stumbled, and if it hadn't been for Hex, I'd be mush. He grabbed my hand and pulled me up. But he isn't really the strongest, so we almost tumbled down together instead.
I figured I couldn't just leave them to fall to their pathetic destiny. So I zoomed down to grab Hex by his collar and pulled them both him and Voyboy back up.
Thank you for saving us, Nico.
No problem, Voyboy. Don't get used to it.
Didn't you expect a trap like that? After all, a great wizard would want to protect their treasure.
I guess we were a little distracted by all the gold hanging from the walls. The staircase ended in a wondrous library that spiraled endlessly higher around the tower's inside walls. We lost Hex at the bottom, in the first row of books. A lot of them were drenched. Didn't seem like the tower was waterproof. There was still primordial water dripping from somewhere above.
We couldn't make out the ceiling. Tried to reach it, though. Second story of the spiral staircase library had 3 paths leading away.
Each path ended in a door, and all 3 doors were closed and marked with runes or paintings of rusty old locks. I got sucked into looking at the library's beautiful murals. Each of them depicted a different story. One of them was a mosaic of mirrors. That one was my favorite.
Watching Hex look at books was like reading a thriller. Almost every second book was rigged with a trap, but he figured out the pattern quickly. Something, Fibonacci, I don't know. IDK.
Once I was able to pry myself away from the murals, I started looking for spell things. I knew Hex was most interested in those, and you help when you can.
I didn't. I mostly looked at the small treasures lying around. The wizard had this real cool staff with a chonker of a gemstone embedded at the top. Imagine the damage I could do with that! But I also found something else that was really cool. Here, take a look.
Oh.
It's dope, right?
What, is this?
A weather jar, duh. Shows that the weather is like in another realm.
Ah, I see. Let me guess, Avalon?
I knew you'd get it.
I found some spell scrolls. One of them had golden runes on it. Hex liked that one, but he didn't love it, you know? Then, nestled between a few red velvet armchairs, I found a glass case. It had a golden frame and a scroll placed inside, neatly in the middle. The scroll was floating and all that. I knew Hex was looking for more spells, so I called for him. As soon as I mentioned an oddly floating scroll, he came sprinting upwards, staring at the glass case. He already had another scroll tucked into his coat. Honestly, I was expecting him to be carrying half the library at that point. But I guess that would have been too heavy for him.
Of course, the stupid glass case was also a puzzle.
Had no lock, no lid, no nothing. Just glass and a gold frame.
The scroll itself was glowing a promising blue. I suggested breaking the glass. X gave me his finest death glare.
So he investigated the puzzle himself.
While they were doing boring side quests, I made sure to stuff my pockets. On a jeweled silver paperweight shaped like a bird, that'll make for a great blunt weapon.
Hex was too scared we'd destroy the scroll by triggering another contraption, so he suggested we look around in the adjacent rooms.
The riddle doors.
Hex only had to look at them for a mere second before figuring them out. Apparently, all of those murals and runes were referencing a story hidden somewhere in the library.
So he made us search for it.
It was tricky. We didn't want to trigger the book traps after all.
After a certain point, we did.
It was like the library knew what would tempt us the most. I kept seeing books about forgotten songs, rare instruments, and romantic poetry.
And I saw books about burglary and fraud.
Even had to tackle you to the ground one time so you wouldn't blow us all up.
Who can resist a good scheme?
It was kinda exciting, seeing Hex hop up and down the stairs looking for the right books. First password was password. The second password was passwords past the password.
I was about to say, oh god, your security, your OPSEC is absolutely terrible. But you know what? Never mind. You got better.
And the third one was passwords past the password's password?
You wish, but no.
It was 1, 2, 3, 4.
I take everything back. This wizard's stupid.
Wow. Ah, easy to crack. Good for you.
The first room was an alchemy lab full of apparatuses I'd never seen before. Most of the liquids had gone dry, but Hex insisted on taking whatever was left along with us anyway.
Wouldn't let me taste any, though. The nerd was more interested in the study hidden behind the second door.
He was really determined to crack all of that old wizard's mysteries.
We helped where we could, but listen, I only have like 3 brain cells.
Okay, look, that's 2 more than I have, so be
2
proud
of them
of
are in
that.
Corey, by the way.
Oh. That's unfortunate.
The soundscape of the tower was kind of depressing. Silence broken only by the dripping of water and the creaking of old wood. So I sweetened it with a song.
It was very easy to get into the flow with that bomb music, Voyo.
Thank you. Hex didn't find a key to the glass case, but he at least found a blueprint showing how it was built. Maybe he can find out how to open it using that.
That'd be nice.
He was pretty beaten up about everything, though.
Yeah, couldn't find what he was looking for.
Not even in the third room?
No.
That one was a gym. Didn't know wizards worked out.
Oh, he's Marshall!
Nerd.
Maybe it was just a distraction from the hidden vault.
Hidden vault? Anything good in there?
Oh yeah! More than our arms could carry.
A bunch of artifacts, most of them probably cursed.
Which makes them even cooler. But Innkeep, you don't even know the funniest part yet.
Enlighten me.
The whole time, the wizard had a spare key to the tower under the doormat.
I'm going to shake this wizard by the shoulders.
You and me both.
My guy, you need to update your security. Very much so. Your OPSEC is terrible.
That's what we call a Sigma grind set, am I right?
Next, we're gonna hear he doesn't lock his windows at night. The oldest habit of all time, and we didn't even think about checking for it.
I did. But I wanted them to find it for themselves.
You were just fucking with them, weren't you, Melly?
Yeah. Well, when I left the tower, I was at the beach with Jade. She had arrived a while ago to pick us up, and I was teaching Onyx new tricks.
He helped us heave all the loot onto her boat.
We couldn't take everything with us, so we decided to head back there again another day.
Although there's one thing that doesn't make sense in this equation, though.
And that would be...
Iniko, Boy, and Hex traveled alone. Well, except for me. They're still away. Yet, I found a fresh set of footprints by the coast before Jade ever arrived. Like, there was a 5th person on the island. Maybe someone was there just shortly before us?
We didn't even notice, lol. It's like we didn't notice Melina.
I'm sorry for staying hidden for so long.
Don't apologize. I think it just proved your skills as a detective. We've got a lot to learn from you.
What a story!
Anyway, how's your sex life, Innkeeper?
Wait, what?
Huh? Well, I can't
I'm sure we could improve it. Anyway, I'll be on my way now.
Inigo, not in front of the Voy Boy.
Gotta check up on Hex and make sure he didn't accidentally take a book mimic home. You coming with, Nico?
Sure thing. So long, Innkeep.
Goodbye, Innkeeper. Don't miss me too much. Mwah.
I'll try not to.
Now it's just you and me, Innkeeper.
Indeed. I'm glad you're back.
You're making it sound like I was lost or kidnapped. I was just investigating.
Without telling anyone?
I don't need to tell anyone where I'm going.
People care about you, Millie. They get worried if they don't know where you are.
Oh. I'm not used to that. And I care about people too, like you.
That's good to hear.
Millie!
Hi,
Hi, Dave.
Aura. Oh, Dave, hi.
Oh, that name is so outdated. I'm... You're back.
I am. Did you miss me?
Did I was just... very worried. What?
You called me Melly.
What about it?
You've never done that before.
I'm sure I have.
You even said you'd never call me Melly.
I'm just glad you're back.
Welcome back to my tavern, Dave.
That's a cute one.
Yeah, I got it on my latest quest.
Dave, you made a good choice. I also went on a quest. Well, at first I wanted to find the moon swamps. You know, the mysterious magical swamp that is said to be magically hidden and only appears in foggy but starry nights. I heard they're somewhere in the moon swamp, near the portal to the Twilight Chasm.
And did you find anything?
No. I did find some weird way markers made of bones that seem to lead somewhere. They had "Do not touch" written on them, and the paint even seemed fresh, so it looked like the perfect clue. But then, suddenly, there were just gallons of water everywhere. Luckily, I got away quick, and since I was already there, as Phesoa's best detective, it was my duty to discover the flood's origins. Well, at first I was more of a stowaway than a detective. And I also couldn't figure out what...
Don't storm off like that ever again, you understand? I was so worried, and no one knew anything about your whereabouts.
Now,
I'm sorry.
No, No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you like that. It's just, I haven't cared about anyone in so long. And with you and Fable both suddenly gone, I didn't know what to do.
I thought you didn't care. After you went away, even though I asked you to be more careful. I thought maybe you didn't want to be my trusty assistant after all. So I went to investigate alone.
I'm sorry for leaving.
It's alright. I'm used to people leaving, and I'm not coming back.
I do care, Melly. I'm just kinda new to this whole honesty thing. I'm kinda new to this whole empathy thing.
Yeah. I figured.
If you'd like, I could fix you a drink to help you find your words again.
I don't know if I'm up for trading another secret in exchange.
It's on me today. You've got enough to worry about. So, let me see what I can do for you. I feel kind of bad that I really put you through the fucking ringer last week.
Yeah, sure, I bet.
Good experience though. Very
Luckily,
very good reads and everything.
What are you talking about reading? What's he talking about?
Don't worry about it. It's fine. You know what? We're gonna give you the you drink.
At least I get to keep the secret to my luggage combination, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The what?
What?
Why is yours the same as mine?
Oh, weird.
It's so crazy.
That's amazing.
Are we like brothers, only closer? Are we luggage homies?
You guys are silly.
Enjoy your magical liquid eloquence.
Let me get some sip.
Spippy.
Doesn't taste half bad. This might actually help. So, your quest. Jade said you were stranded on Morla.
Yeah, I followed 3 very suspicious looking foes and somehow ended up on their island there. Why do I always run into wizards and magic when I'm out on adventures? And traps! Magical traps everywhere!
Actually, magic and trap cards are 2 separate. I mean, sounds very dangerous.
A detective's always seeking thrills. I'll make sure to be careful. I promise.
It's not about that. I know you know how to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you wouldn't have solved the T-Rex case. But don't keep putting your own life at risk in exchange for a quick adventure. Luckily, nothing major happened this time. This all could have ended very differently.
I know.
All I'm saying is, don't disappear again. Please. You're not alone anymore. You don't have to do everything all by yourself.
Like you're one to talk.
To be fair, Dave's got a point. Even though they're guilty themselves. Both of you are. But you two have also made a lot of progress already. And I'm glad both of you made it back safely.
Heard anything from Fable yet?
No. Not yet.
My date is ruined.
You guys had a date?
Yeah.
But what about Carolyn?
Yeah, see? You can date Carolyn. It's perfectly fine. Silver medals. I mean, she came back after the flood. Currently, she's investigating some undead sightings in the Pale Woods.
Do you know when she'll be back?
No. But the two of you can wait here for her if you want.
Yes, please. I want to stay until Carolyn gets back.
All right. I'll keep you company.
How about I spice up your wait with another drink?
I'll pass.
Wasn't talking to you.
All right, fine. Jeez.
Well, I'd like one, please.
Of course. Do you want anything specific?
The whole adventure was pretty exhausting. Maybe something to combat my mental tiredness?
Nothing easier than that.
Yay!
You know what? It's been a while since I've gotten to make you a drink.
Yeah,
So
it's
of
been-
course, let's get you the peak sunrise. And you know what?
I like
Let's spice it up.
sparkles.
Let's spice it up with a little catnip. Thunder Sage.
What was that?
No, it's fine.
Something smells really good.
Last time you gave her that, she learned how to cast fireballs from that weird mage guy. Do not.
It's fine.
I wish I knew how to cast fireball.
What's one thing better than 4 a.m. zoomies? 4 a.m. explosive zoomies. Let's see if this will wake you up again.
Wake me up
Someone say, wake me
inside.
up.
Oh, thank you. This is delicious. I can feel my synapses connecting.
Oh,
I have more
good.
than one brain cell today.
I used twice as much catnip this time.
Ooh. You know, now that I've had some time to think about it, I think I figured out why Hex was so bummed about the loot.
Care to share your insight with us?
But of course. He has a younger sister, right? Which always struck me as odd. She looks so much older than him. So what if she just ages faster than he does? And he expected to find some very special loot in that wizard tower. But he didn't find it. So, what if he was looking for something to extend her life? Like a scroll of immortality.
What a foolish idea.
Hey!
Not you. Hex. Even if it's tempting, those are powers that no one should interfere with.
I agree. What if she turns into, like, a zombie? Enough of them!
Definitely.
We should tell him when we see him again. Or maybe we should tell Carolyn when she returns. She seems to be experienced in dealing with the undead. You think it'll be a long time before she gets back?
I don't know. Could be very soon. but it could take a few more days. You've had a long day, speaking of. Aren't you tired, Melly?
No! I'm not tired. At all!
Let's wait for a little bit longer. Maybe she'll show up. And Fable with her.
Sounds good.
Oh, she knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she just straight up fell on the floor. Damn.
She was EB and Neeby to Sleepy.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe I should bring her home and wrap this up for the night.
That's a good idea. You should get some rest as well. I'll let you know if I hear anything about Kerlin. Or Fable.
All right. There's not much for me to do otherwise.
Except care for Melly.
Well, obviously care for Melly. That was what I was going to do.
She needs you. Just hammer the point home.
Got it. Yeah. I think you may be right.
Good night, Dave.
You know. Forget about it. See ya. Pick up the cat by the scruff and let's have him.
We did it!
Yay!
Yeah.
Good job, everybody.
Mayu, when I catch you.
Very, very good
When
job,
I catch you.
everyone. I know we still have an hour and 5 minutes until the next ad break, but as before, I'm just gonna run it now so we have plenty of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we will be back afterwards. So, alrighty, we are back. Laughs were had. I have praised the hell out of Mayu and Dave's back and forth. Very emotional, very fun. But we still have 2 whole heckin' hefty days with us. So let's go on ahead and dive right back into it as we begin Act 3, Chapter 21, Disaster, Tea, and Revelations. Welcome back. It's good to see you both again.
Hold your enthusiasm, Innkeeper. We bring tales of disaster.
I don't mind a little disaster in my tales. After all, you tell them so well.
She really does.
As do you, Clay.
Thank you. I hope my stories are as good as your drinks.
They are to me. Speaking of which, can I offer you a drink in exchange for a little insight into your disasters?
That'd be great.
Something that feels strong and magic-y, right?
You remembered. Yeah, that one, please.
Coming right up. There has been a recipe that I have been waiting to try. I haven't had a reason to, but now I can. In fact, we'll make you a nice, strong, cursed coffee made with extra teeth.
You've heard of maybe mochas get ready for cursed coffee.
What?
That's actually really good.
That's my cousin you're about to drink.
Something tasty and strong. hopefully not disastrous.
Very tasty, very strong. You really got the best drinks around.
Happy to hear that, Clay. Dear, you're bursting at the seams. How are the archives?
Fun!
Were they?
Mayhaps. The Blake stalkers were
Bleak?
cute.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
Kawaii?
Desne.
Very! Jade told us where to find the entrance to the archives. But when we got there, we found it surrounded by bleak stalkers.
They were quite numerous. And so, shape? Let's go with shaped.
Yeah, let's go with that. I decided to ask them if they could let us through.
And I thought he might need some help with that. So I called on your honey flowers and I extended my divine light to him. It made him glow softly, and they all flocked to him like moths to a gentle flame. Did you know they have velvet wings they can fold into their bodies?
I didn't. That's fascinating.
They were so cuddly and showed off their crawling skills in exchange for carrots. I asked them if they'd like to be our tour guides, and they were so excited. They'd never been tour guides before, and at first they thought it involved eating people.
I might have acted a bit standoffish when trying to correct their misconception. Clay was able to convey the message much better. He's very good at explaining things.
I think he really understands people. And that helps him meet them where they're at.
I tried to. I mean, everyone has their way of understanding things, and I just think that's beautiful.
I envy your empathetic approach to life, Clay.
Thanks, but you've got your own strengths. Like how you're a master of strategy, or how you're so good at making people feel safe.
I suppose we make a great team.
The best, I might say.
We make a great team with the Bleach Stalkers, too. They led us straight to the archives, which were huge.
Large parts of the Everbloom had collapsed, but even the explorable sections were unbelievably spacious. We had no time for a proper tour, unfortunately. We had to make it back in time for the barbecue, after all. That meant we had to be efficient during our search. Though we did take a break to admire the artist's hall the creatures excitedly led us to. We found abandoned pottery equipment that distracted us a little too much. Using more time than was perhaps appropriate, we molded tiny versions of the little critters as a gift to them.
They loved them.
Afterwards, we split up to cover more ground. Each of us was guided by a group of bleak stalkers, cute little things.
Dangerous choice. That's when the monsters get you.
That's what Clay said. So, I Well, I enchanted the friendship bracelets. Oh, hush. That way they would always sense in which direction the other person was located. So neither of us would get lost.
It was so smart.
It was very useful.
I see you kept yours on. Both of you, if you look at each other's right arms in the sprite.
I did.
They really helped with navigating around the archives, too. It's a beautiful place, you know? I mean, everything's overgrown with vines, or withered and full of termites. But we could still tell how much care had gone into building it. Some of the tree branches still have leaves on them. And I saw a couple of stubborn lotus daisies trying to break through around the rocks. I taught the bleak stalkers how to water them. They love drinking out of the watering can. But they also enjoyed sharing their water with the lotus daisies. Hopefully they'll grow stronger again soon.
What a shame all the effort that went into building the archives was for nothing.
But it wasn't. It meant something to someone once. And I could still feel that love in it, even during our visit. Hey, maybe it will even bloom again. It's called the Everbloom, right? Like, forever? I wonder who named it. We should go back sometime and see if we could find any information about the archivists. I bet they know some great drinking games.
Innkeeper, I do believe we have the goodest boy on our hands, don't you agree?
He's a pretty good boy. I do love me some Andu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Clay.
What,
Clay,
Andu?
yes, yes.
Oh, I will
Yes.
fight you on this.
I have too many nicknames.
Perhaps we should honor their contributions by studying the knowledge they have behind.
Hey, why not both? They should be people first, symbol second.
Oh, yes, I guess both would work too. Good idea, Clay.
What else did you find in the archives? Besides friends and the beauty and horrors of time, I mean.
I got a little distracted when I asked our new friends to point me towards the cooking section. It was so vast. I found many new bread recipes I can't wait to try out. I also found something for you.
For me?
Yep. A recipe from a book on mixology. First, I thought about taking the whole thing along, but it was a giant tome and the bleak stalkers were so attached to it. So I ripped out the page that looked the most interesting.
We thought it would fit your repertoire.
I think it does. Thank you very much.
As for me, I asked them to lead me towards dangerous knowledge, and soon found myself in a hidden study. The bleak stalkers didn't want to go inside, like they were scared of its contents. So I rewarded them with some treats and ventured inside alone. It was a complete mess, full of scriptures, scrolls, and written ramblings that would be forbidden these days. A little exciting. and worrying. The papers I was able to translate spoke of the apocalypse, of the end of it all. There was research on the roots of the Aether Tree and how to unbind them, written with shaking hands and fading ink.
Was this the more scholarly or mad scientist type of research?
Hard to tell. The lines tend to blur with blasphemy.
Do you know about the Aether Tree? Because Tia gave me a whole presentation about it.
I wouldn't mind a refresher.
Oh, excellent. I'm gonna get my slideshow.
Alright. Hear me out. It's a giant tree.
Good start.
A world tree. That means our world rests on it. Like, in it. Around it. Somewhere.
In it, mostly.
Depends on who you ask.
Okay, the dragons guard the tree. Because they created it? Maybe. But definitely because they care for us. And since we live in it, we should keep existing. It should keep existing how it does now. Because no one wants their house to crumble. A lot of people would get hurt if something happened to everyone's home.
That's true. But luckily for us, damaging the Aether Tree isn't possible. It's larger than we could ever imagine. To us, it's really more of a concept than a tree. And the dragons defend it. Despite their oath of neutrality, they're no easy foes.
There is one way. The sigils of Alcahest.
The what?
The sigils of Alcahest. They're the key to destroying the Aether Tree, according to the scrolls I studied under the Archive's candlelight.
Are they some sort of spell?
More of a manual to a self-fulfilling prophecy. A way of breaking the cosmos in accordance with its own rules. For the tree to crumble, its foundation must be fractured. The 5 sigils of Alcahest represent the 5 dragons, each of which must be damaged to topple our world's balance. Only then can our cosmos reshape itself. The scrolls spoke of experiments for creating a sigil. Unsuccessful experiments.
That's reassuring.
Not quite. They were only unsuccessful back then. Next to the notes of old, I found others, written on cleaner, newer parchment with unfaded ink. Much of it was incomprehensible, written in languages I've never seen before. But various sketches of whales caught my eye, as did altered frostbite scrolls.
That sounds unsettlingly familiar.
I fear that the starfall broke a sigil. By ripping holes into Cassiopeia's wings, it destabilized her flight. If she's damaged any further, time could be sent into disarray. Meanwhile, the tsunami, like I heard, didn't just plague the archives. The waves broke down the barriers between the primordial sea and the Twilight chasm in ways never seen before.
So, that's 2 broken sigils. That's not good.
What an incredible understatement.
To witness one such sigil fracture would be anxiety-inducing enough. Knowing it has happened to two will keep me up for many nights.
It's not 2. It's 3.
3?
Alongside the notes, I found an old map with fresh markings. All the names were outdated, but the intention was clear. Marked were the 5 interplanar portals. 30 years ago, their sudden appearance tore fissures into Gaia. I believe they were the first sigil.
Bad, right?
Very.
Who could have done this? I honestly don't know. And why, of all things? If the Aether Tree collapsed, or even shifted from its perfect balance, the destruction would end us all.
Who would want that?
No one thinking rationally. That's for sure.
They might have a good reason for it. Maybe we can talk them out of it?
I doubt it.
Me too.
Whoever it may be that's causing this, they only have 2 sigils left.
Would be quite bad, right? Don't they say that waking the Elder Dragon will start the apocalypse?
They do.
I feel like there's way too many ways to start the apocalypse.
Maybe they're all connected, and waking will break the last sigil. Although, I'd like to think breaking all the sigils is indeed impossible.
Because it's impossible to reach Tuat in the spirit realm, correct?
It's not exactly impossible. One can make it to the spirit dragon via the astral sea at the dawn of the dying moon.
That's in 5 days, right?
Yes, but worry not. To reach such a specific location within the astral realm, very specific rituals are necessary. And Gaia's portal to Cassiopeia is indispensable. Said portal is located in, and safely protected by the Aperture, the stronghold of the Order of Starlight. And its rituals must be performed with outstanding accuracy to withstand the treacherous astral currents. Only the highest ranking members of the Order are privy to this knowledge. And I guarantee you, all of us would rather die than aid in the destruction of this world.
If the rest of them are half as stubborn as you are, I think we're well protected.
Exactly.
Way too literally gaslight and gatekeep, girl boss.
I don't know what you mean.
That's good then. The rest is worse.
What's bad is that we don't know who's behind this. Or why, by the dragons in the endless horizon, anyone would desire something so vile.
I can already sense your next quest. But can I offer you a drink first? Your throat must be dry from all that exposition.
I wouldn't say no to a drink. Perhaps something that will keep my mind intact, defended from lunacy. I feel like I'm going mad.
Say no more. Whew. That was quite the lore dump. Let's see here. Something...
Sure, the world will be fine.
I said say no more! It's okay, you can continue talking. I know it was just a turn of phrase. I was just messing with you.
Well, now I have trust issues.
It's fine. It's fine. It's not like I'm going to make you drink a blasphemous crystal giving you the protection of the dragons in the middle of your drink. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
You're doing what now?
No, it's fine. Just adding in some extra yellow.
Clay, I think we're going to have to kill this guy.
Damn. A delicious defense against the absurdity of evil plot.
Thank you. This makes me feel a little less conspiratorial. Clay, put the giant rock down.
Okay.
I needed a breather.
You know what else would make good for a good breather?
My mom! What?
D's not! Fable's barbecue?
Exactly. Sorry, I almost sneezed. I'm sorry.
You were doing so well!
It was perfect.
You're right. That would be quite pleasant right now.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think the barbecue is happening today. Fable hasn't returned from their quest yet.
Oh. What quest are they on?
Finding Melina.
But we just saw Ellie on the way here.
Perhaps they found another quest while out? Heroism can be infectious like that. Innkeep, what kind of drink did you mix them?
But
None.
my barbecue. Maybe we should go look for them.
Maybe so.
Please do. No one has seen them in days. And the last things I said to them, I hate for those words to be my last. Please, help me find them.
Of course. I'm sure they could slay any monsters without us, but some extra hands couldn't hurt.
But you'll have to deliver your apologies yourself.
I'll slay that beast when it comes to it.
Very well. But first, we must solve our urgent sigil problem. I feel like we're just missing one piece.
Is it
So
real?
help me God, no!
The one piece! A piece of what? Cake? I'd like to order my usual cake, Innkeeper.
I don't serve cake. Never have.
Oh! Maybe you should. Another delicious delicacy would be...
Also, still no blood.
Oh. The sorrow I'm feeling almost equals the grief I felt after the vampire glitter competition of 1389.
Eh?
I had run out of glitter.
I could serve you one of my usual drinks to alleviate some of that heartache.
Oh, well, that would be splendid. I'd like something to enhance my immortal strength. No shopping bag shall hold me back today.
Ah, yes, a fellow one-tripper. I'll see what I can do.
Hey, Tia, they said glitter.
I know, it's...
Do you want glitter?
Oh god.
We could put glitter on the friendship bracelet.
I could put it on that little skull of yours.
Cassiopeia hope.
Glitter skull.
No!
Yes.
Right. Scary skull.
Oh, wait, that's one too many
But
defense.
glitter.
Only on the inside.
Oh, it would look so good in the dark.
It
We'll get
would.
you those
Have
little
your
tea
skull
candles.
glow in the dark.
And in the daylight, it would look good too. Like me.
There we are. Here you are, my favorite strength drink and drink in general, with all the strength of a raging fire, but not as quick as a great typhoon.
Well, thank you, dear innkeeper. My blood is boiling with euphoria.
Any particular reason for your shopping trip?
Oh, a very particular one, dear innkeeper. It is a matter of life and death. I must head out to purchase this wondrous substance known as comfort food immediately.
Ah, yes, midnight markers. Do you know what comfort food is?
Well, you just said it's a midnight marker. But I haven't the slightest idea. But it is rumored to restore you mortals back to full health.
Indeed. You ever just ate butter?
Butter? I'm afraid Rhea will perish should she not receive it.
That sounds serious. Has she fallen ill?
A fatal case of something she called being in the zone. I assume it's highly dangerous. She's refused to move away from her drawing board for over a year now. She even threw me out of the room upstairs when I offered her blood pellet snack.
Oh, I'm sure she's just running salmons right now. Yeah, they're quite popular at the moment.
How will her body handle another year without food?
Well, I have some good news for you. Rhea hasn't been sketching for a year. You guys checked in yesterday.
Oh, how fortunate.
And as for your legendary item, you should ask her about it. Generally, everyone has a different idea what they consider comfort food.
Oh, how wondrous.
Though, something tells me you should give her some time before you go back upstairs to ask.
Why?
Because she's locked the fuck in. Call it...
What is locked in?
It's a term. You know, I'm sure Inigo could help explain it, but call it intuition.
Am I locked in?
No.
I don't think intuition is a very good name, Innkeeper.
You want me to help find a better one?
Of course. I'll think of one before the next 80 years are up.
Thank you.
I shall remain for a while. And once I have acquired the correct comfort food, I will make sure my friend eats every last bite.
That's a good friend.
Like a vampiric mother hen to her vampiric chick.
I take it back. Oh, but I didn't know there were vampire chickens.
There aren't.
But there are vampire geese. You know they have teeth, right? Besides, do you know that for certain?
Yes.
I could have sworn the ones at my family's estate had fangs.
But chickens can't develop teeth.
And here I thought we were comrades in blood hunger.
Chickens are still very fascinating on their own. Did you know they have very colorful dreams?
Oh, well, that's nice.
I once helped a wild hen with her dream journal. I'll introduce you to next time. My favorite thing about chickens is that they purr when they're happy.
Oh, what charming creatures. The more I learn, the more they remind me of vampires. So simple, sweet, and ferocious, yet their origin harbors one of the greatest mysteries of life. What came first? The chicken or the egg?
The egg.
Well, since Clay said it, now I have to be the contrarian, the chicken. You're not going to weigh in.
I am intellectually withdrawing myself from this conversation.
Ah, the coward's route, understandable.
Understandable.
I'm the only sane one here.
But unlike this unsolved mystery, I do know how vampires were created.
Eggs, right?
Would you mind elaborating?
Weren't you intellectually withdrawing?
Weren't you chasing off your clients?
Ooh, she got you there.
As a cleric of Cassiopeia, humility is a lifelong objective that I strive towards. As such, I must admit when I need to concede words spoken in haste. Which would be now, I suppose. Please, Kyle, if you wouldn't mind expanding on what you just said.
Certainly. It must have been over 5 centuries ago when a scholar stole some of the immortal blood of the dragons. The scholar offered it to Queen Annabeth, who would become the vampire's monarch.
I have never heard of Queen Annabeth.
I think that was just the plot of a really challenging board game, Kyle.
Oh, you're right.
You're mixing your stories again, honey.
So, then, Mike was real after all?
Mike?
Yes, it's all coming back to me now. The first vampire that walked this world was the infamous Mikhail. But most of us call him Mike. He had a very close connection to the spirit dragon and his domain. Eventually, Mike struck a deal with Twat. In exchange for guarding the dragon's realm, he would get to live forever.
But that didn't work out, I guess.
Old Mike didn't read the fine print. The spirit dragon turned out to be a trickster. Tuat turned him into a new form of undead creature, invulnerable to age and disease, but still weak to the blade. Blood was the only thing he could stomach to consume, and with time, even sunlight became intolerable. Mike was no longer welcome among the living, but the dead didn't want him either. And that's how the first vampire was created.
Fascinating. There is so little known about the spirit dragon in his realm. Kyle, just how do you possess knowledge that's considered ancient by today's standards?
What knowledge?
Oh, you sweet summer child. The knowledge you just told us about.
I stumbled upon it in a grimoire I bought the other day at the local bookstore.
Nope, that was the vampire romance book Kaelin recommended to you. Try again.
But of course. Dear Evelyn was such a history fanatic. How could I not pick up on a few stories? That was one of her favorites. I still dream of her deathly beautiful countenance as she narrated tales until the intruders stopped screaming. She always told the story of our progenitor, Mike, so softly. She would cradle a vial of his blood and her tone would turn so reverent. A secret to share just with me, she would say. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to break the last oath between us as well.
I'm sure we can help you keep this a secret. Right?
A secret between new friends.
Where's the town bell? I have an announcement to make. I mean,
Here.
if secrecy is how we can repay you for sharing this with us, then so be it.
Ilithia, are you planning to make a call-out post on your twitter.com?
I was going to call an Among Us meeting, but that works too. Since you seem to have been very close to her, I wanted to let you know. We traveled past Morrow Castle on our way back. It looked awfully damaged. The destruction looked so fresh. If only we had passed by earlier. Clay even spotted a heavily armored silhouette a short distance away from what remained of the castle walls. We hurried over as quickly as possible, but the shadow was gone by the time we got there. As it was, only rubble remained.
Oh. Was my dear Evelyn unharmed?
We don't know. The castle looked abandoned, like a ruin.
My Evelyn, what horrid fiend could have inflicted such damage? She must have fought back fiercely. May her opponents suffer twice the damage they inflicted upon her. What I wouldn't give to know her safe. I think I need to go ask Rhea about her comfort food.
Let's give him some time to come to terms with what he just learned.
Mommy, sorry.
Ah, greetings, brave adventurers. That's my line, Lydia.
Sorry.
Great morrow, Innkeeper.
There seems to be a few more bones than usual with you, Scully.
You observe correctly, my friend. They are wonderful parting gifts, aren't they?
Sure are.
That explains woefully little, Scully. I'm afraid I'll need a better explanation than that.
And you shall not be disappointed, my friend. You must excuse me. Oh, this enthusiasm is just bouncing around in my skull.
Let us know when it hits a corner.
Like the DVD logo! You understand my feelings.
I do.
Well, I will try to compose myself. This tale deserves the cracking of every last one of my rhetorical knuckles.
Oh, good knuckle crack. Good bones.
Let us recount our tale properly, Dame Carolyn.
Hang on.
Hanging?
I think I could go for one of your drinks first.
That can be arranged.
Something to keep my strength up. I didn't get to flex my muscles much during our quest. A good one might net you a story.
No pressure, Kaelin.
All the pressure, Innkeep.
Let's see, what do you want? You want strong. I'm sure there'll be nothing wrong with giving coffee to a Vukakin. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
You're gonna give me a curse, really?
No, I'm giving you
That's so
coffee.
cliche.
That's the important thing you need to remember. In fact, we're going to put some thunder sage in it. We're going to give. That's not the. That's
Not
the
a
wrong
werewolf.
one. That's yellow. Here we go. Do you ever just give your canine friend coffee? I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure.
No.
Peter
Don't
won't
do that.
have anything to say about it.
You need dexterity.
It's fine. I need dexterity. You're right. Hold on.
Just pour one out and then.
You're right.
Then the green. The green. Why am I doing your job for you?
It's fine. I'm sorry. I have missed seeing your arms and shoulders, and I like big lady.
Me too.
I don't know how you could possibly miss them. They're positively gargantuan.
Well, sometimes there's not a mirror around.
A great drink for a great story.
I'll be the judge of that. Aren't you lucky?
I like to think that luck had nothing to do with it.
Perhaps not.
I might have something else to cheer you up.
Oh?
Melly's back.
Only her back?
I...
Oh!
Oh, a ripping good one, I dare say.
Relieved.
Thank you. Like a great sword's been lifted off my shoulders. Is she alright?
Yes. Though you might prefer to see for yourself. She and Dave left me their address to give to you.
Who?
Ah, You know them.
Right, got it. Only one person would fit such an uninspired name. They'd better have apologized to Melly or else.
You'll have to find the details out for yourself. Just don't keep them waiting for too long.
Don't need to tell me that. Fable isn't back then.
No.
Sure are taking their time.
Feel like looking for them yet?
No, they're capable. Just my patience is starting to wear thin.
You had some to begin with.
You're pretty chatty for someone within greatsword distance.
I'm sorry. I prefer if you use your hands.
I'm having a marvelous time.
Right. Can I interest you in one of my drinks as well, Scully?
With an offer like that, my friend, how can a skeleton say no? I don't even have a tongue for it. Perhaps something to enhance my aura. I'd like to do the proclamations of this tale proper justice.
I'm pretty sure he goes by Dave now, I'm sorry. And he's not... Oh, you mean your storyteller's aura, right. Right.
Where the hell did you get Dave from?
Dave's a good name. I have a very good friend in Rome named Dave.
I know a diver named Dave. He's pretty cool.
That's pronounced diva.
Oh. No, that's La Diva. That's part of the Grand Blue Fantasy universe.
I thought it was Vars Diva. Perhaps I'm getting them mixed up.
Oh, regional names and all that. You know.
You're speaking Latin to me. Just like Dave.
It's actually Davi.
It's pronounced Satine.
I'm lost.
It's okay, just block it out. Think about the glitter skull.
That's too much.
Yeah, you're right.
I have not been into in a long time.
Colors.
I'm not even flexing right now. What are you doing?
That large man has, I think that's one of my relatives on his shoulder. Thomas? No, we'll catch up later.
Please, enjoy.
Oh my. They say manners maketh man, but this drink alone has invigorated me plenty. I can almost feel warmth of flesh on my bones again.
How did he
How
make
did you do that with your
sound?
mouth?
The mustache does wonders.
Pleasure to be of service?
Our quest was confusing.
Inspiring!
My favorite flavor of quest.
Not enough fighting, in my opinion. Felt like my muscles were wasting away on the way back here.
But the most important muscle of all received a superb workout, wouldn't you say? Not wink wink.
The tongue?
The brain.
All right.
Metaphorically for me, of course.
I've been wondering about that, actually.
No. We're not even gonna get started on that topic.
I do have to agree, my friend. Let's not get distracted.
I can smell lore dumping in this room and I hate it.
I think I might have stepped on some on the way in. Though, I'd be delighted to share my theories with you, Innkeeper. Let me know when you have an hour to spare. Or 5. Now, back to the task at bony hand.
We started by making our way westwards, though our progress was slow.
Any complications?
Yes, quite a few. Before embarking on this journey, I was woefully ignorant about the plight of my Phesoan farmers. The less than ideal weather conditions. The flood that ruined a lot of crops. And now this pesky undead problem. I was stricken with empathy for their struggle. Least we could have done was offer up a means of transportation for any soul looking for better life further north.
So we switched carriages 3 times. By the 3rd time we had gotten so far, of course, it took us a whole day just to get back on track. On foot.
But once our hike was over, we did get to spend a wonderful afternoon with Dame Karen's cousin, Lady Danica. Danica? I had never figured it out.
Yeah, I think it's Danica. That was nice, I guess.
The cousin with the undead snail problem, yes? Did you manage to liven up that garden for her?
Sure did. Just had to set out some cabbage to lead them somewhere we wouldn't be damaging any crops, and...
With just one magnificent strike. Truly a sight to behold.
The undead snail union was formed. It was just some undead snails. No need to have gotten so excited.
Ah, yes, one strike and they were escargon.
Pardon, my moustache is tickling my nose. To match the excitement, Lady Danica served us some positively delightful cups of tea. Better than any accompanying finger sandwiches were some new facts I gleaned from observing the snails. Even lacking souls, they still displayed some pack behavior. They acted nothing like real animals, of course, but somehow I was struck with empathy for their plight. To unconsciously seek out a manner of instinctual action. Despite the lack of anything to grant them a conscious objective. Is there a more transparent yearning for purpose than that? Well, I thought it was cool. It appears they say about old age is true. You can't help but philosophize.
Bless you.
Philosophize.
And you couldn't help but relate, I'm guessing. All right, Grandpa, let's get you back to the home.
In a way, I'm only 31 years old. I play an emancipate. In a way, one can't help but wonder whether any choice I make is truly my own, or just a post-mortem reflex of these old bones. Perhaps even my thirst for knowledge.
And yet, your enjoyment of it seems genuine.
By Jove, tally pip skidoo! Truly, Innkeeper, you have a way with words.
Just lots of experience.
Oh, that may be. My words seem rather foolish now. I count myself as quite fortuitous that despite all my memory lacks, I can delight in learning it all again. Does it really matter, then, where such an urge comes from? Anyhow, my apologies, Dame Carolyn. I completely derailed our epic tale. Please allow me to make up for it by continuing post-haste.
I think I just blacked out.
We departed after that lovely cup of tea, finally headed for the Pale Woods. Lady Danica provided us with a cart and a trusty steed, a cow with the most lovely temperament.
Her name's Liselat. Lisella. I don't remember.
It was a hard time for names.
From Fire Emblem Awakening?
Certainly. I made sure to greet the gentleman and pass us on our way to the woods. What magnificent shadow armor he was wearing. Something about it felt oddly familiar. Perhaps it was only my hopes he would look just as gallant after our quest. Liselot valiantly took us to the edge of the forest, where maliciousness permeated the very air we breathed.
What he means is it stunk real bad. We left Liselot there. Liselot. Sparing her the stench seemed like the right thing to do.
And forth we ventured. Tally-ho!
Didn't take a long time to find what we were looking for. The place was crawling with them. Which also explained the smell.
For some reason, the miasma didn't seem to bother me much.
Yeah.
Most respectfully, you're nosent.
No, of course.
Anyways.
There was a veritable horde before us. An army of undead creatures shambling their way through the forest.
One odd treat at a time.
They were awfully interested in those trees, it's true.
I was itching to tear into them. But remembering the plan, I stepped back, with a hand on my greatsword.
The crucial part of a successful negotiation is that you don't go into it blind. So, we observed. The undead creatures were displaying similar patterns to those snails. They weren't just stumbling around senselessly. They seemed to be following a pack leader. A representative that simplified things considerably. Our first course of action was clear. I let Dame Carolyn know of my intentions.
Seemed reasonable enough.
While I circled the group to get to the leader at the front, she remained hidden in the shadows of the thicket. I walked up to the leader, another skeleton, making sure I displayed an open and respectful disposition.
I suppose they were not open and respectful in return?
Nope. Before I could even react, the skeleton had bitten down on Scully's arm.
Agony! is what I would have said, and been protected by my frost armor, your excellent drink mixing skills.
Always glad to hear my drinks are protecting my clients on their quests.
My friend, your drinks are astonishingly potent. Maybe too potent. As soon as the undead creature bit down, their teeth shattered upon impact.
Damn, I'm good.
Damn, you're good. The leader recoiled immediately. And all the others surrounding us froze. The leader fell to the ground, cradling their face with their hands. Curiously, when they regained composure, their expression was filled with joy.
Still no idea how you can read an expression on a skull.
Takes a little bit of practice, I know, but you can do it.
Your
They're
eyebrows are
actually
held up by
quite
nails.
You like them? Would you like a pair of your own?
Oh, no, thank you.
They were actually quite expressive for a skeleton.
Skeletons definitely do have expressions. You just have to get used to looking a little harder for them.
Exactly.
Now you're just pulling my paw.
Nuh-uh. I have no problem reading Scully's expressions. He has a beautiful smile.
Oh, you're making me blush, you rascal.
See, look, he's blushing right there.
Oh, let's move on.
The teeth shattering was quite worrying. It made me re-examine the bite marks on the trees around us. Peculiarly, the bite marks here were quite a bit more shallow than what we had seen in other parts of the forest.
Which means...
all those undead creatures had severe dental issues. The leader was so happy because the frost armor's chill was dulling their pain. The others' teeth were also in truly poor condition. And looking at their behavior, it seemed to be causing them severe pain. Coupled with their hunger for trees, became a never-ending cycle of suffering. It should have never gotten so bad. I asked them why they hadn't reported the issue to their necromancer. It was clearly stated, starting to impact the fulfillment of their objective.
Yeah, it got him really heated. They tried to rip Scully apart again.
But Dame Carolyn skillfully resolved the situation with a bit of intimidation. It turns out they didn't even have dental.
Helen?
What? I told you about the union with the undead snails. Why are you surprised by this? Also, I'm with Scully on this one. They had no benefits, nothing. They were just expected to be quiet and follow orders. That doesn't sound right to me.
It's a scam! That's what it is. Scandal. Rapscallions, the lot of them. No sick leave, no compensation, no patoo.
They didn't want to hear it.
We're doing what we love. We don't need any fancy benefits. But you should have seen the state they were in. Couldn't even take a proper chomp out of the tree's outer bark anymore. Barely any bite left in them. What would happen to their teeth deteriorated even further? their necromancer would replace them with another undead creature in a heartbeat.
That was when Scully really got to him, I think.
The words were just pouring out of my mouth. I was elated that they were the right ones.
The light reflecting off the frost armor really dazzled him, too.
Any skeleton worth their calcium should be able to acquire such armor. They needed to be bound by such a neglectful necromancer. Harumph! Oh. My apologies. It appears I somewhat lost my composure just now. You might soon be contacted to host the first UFU gathering, Innkeeper.
Union for the Undead.
UFU 1755. Never forget your roots.
They're welcome to visit any time.
I think they really want to improve their situation. Most respectably, they promise to leave the Pale Woods alone as well. One of UFU's goals is to find a more sustainable way to deal with their obsession eventually.
They're heading for the Necromancer now. There are a bunch of demands to settle.
They graced us with a great deal of parting gifts before we left. We got the Hallux, broke off of one of them when they attacked Dame Carolyn. Their leader gave me the teeth that we couldn't put back into the skull. Oh, and, I can get it out from under my hat, this eyeball. I'm overjoyed we managed to resolve our quest in a peaceful manner.
Can't deny your resolution was pretty effective.
Good to know you're both happy with how it ended. Those are the outcomes I most enjoy hearing about from my patrons.
Oh! But we did get something else as well, Innkeeper.
Right. Here. The trees looked really chewed on and dead. But the berries seemed like they were thriving. They're the ones Alfie was going on about. Not like they're here to appreciate them now, so I guess you can have them. Just set some aside to make Fable a drink when they're back.
Sounds fair.
Also, while I was plucking the berries, the spirits of the trees gave us a little keepsake. Because they were so glad we stopped all that gnawing.
Sadly, I don't have any more storage space left in my hat.
It's a big eyeball.
It's a really big eyeball. I'm very proud of it. So we wanted you to have it here as well. Now we can always indulge in sweet memories whenever we visit.
I think I know just the place for it. Thank you very much.
Scully, you ever thought about becoming an advocate for this kind of stuff? Not that I can usually stand them, but you seem to really care about all this.
Toss pipple poppycock. Oh no. I'm but a mere heap of bones here to learn all I can. But that necromancer has poppied his last cock, if I have anything to say about it. This gentleman's way of speaking out when evil is committed in front of you. and I don't suppose I will stop doing just that anytime soon.
Sounds good to me.
I still wonder what all those undead creatures were doing there.
No idea. We forgot to ask. Hunger. Seemed to be heading north before we talked to him.
Maybe they were searching for more trees?
Now, the Pale Woods is one of the largest forests in Phesoa. I don't see a reason for them to leave the area before it was barren.
Unless they were ordered to. Don't they typically come with a necromancer attached?
You don't suppose that gentleman we encountered outside the woods could have been that very necromancer?
I don't think farmers wear armor like what you described.
Oh, if I hadn't known what a dastardly, negligent necromancer they were, I would have never have offered that greeting.
You would have copied his... I mean...
You darn right I would.
Just realized where they could have been heading. It's true there aren't many woods around here that compare to the Pale Woods. But that giant root in the capital must look pretty good to some tree-obsessed undeads. There might be tons more. There might be tons more headed there right now.
Expletive indeed.
Just to clarify, do you believe hordes of undead creatures are marching towards the capital?
Well, towards the roots would be my guess.
I see. They're heading towards Themis, to gnaw at the divine roots, as if to...
Fell the aether tree?
Is that like a problem?
Dude, we are so explicitive. Precisely. Not that such an action alone could destroy the whole thing, but it would certainly do some damage.
What in the are you talking about?
As I just stated, someone is trying to destroy the Aether Tree. The Starfall, the Primordial Flood, even the interplanal portals. It's all part of a big plot. Was that not clear?
I just got here. No.
Good heavens! That's awful! Hold on.
And it's sane if true. Is it working?
Unfortunately so. Or do you see stars in the night sky?
I mean, there's one.
There used to be more.
God damn it, thing. Second.
And we don't know who's behind it yet either.
Well. Kaelin. Mr. Scully. The gentle person you greeted outside the woods, you thought he might be a necromancer?
He certainly bore the armor of one.
Did he seem like he wanted to kill everyone?
Well, not particularly, though it can be hard to tell sometimes. Politeness and the desire for homicide aren't necessarily mutually exclusive.
Necromancers resurrect dead things to make undead creatures.
Indeed, they do.
So, Scully. You were resurrected, right? Do you remember anything about it?
Oh, that's a big question. Well, I admit, at first I recalled very little from the start of my new life. I mostly stumbled around, trying to remember my manners. But my memories, or rather the memories of my body, which I suppose are also my memories, have been getting clearer lately. Let me try and focus my thoughts. I believe I awakened in the archives, in the Everbloom.
The Everbloom? Did you encounter any bleak stalkers?
Why, I did indeed. They seemed very hungry for my bones. Such interesting creatures. They remind me of my old intellect wombats. Do those beasts still roam Phesoa?
No. What are intellectible wombats?
Priorities, Tia. Scully, who woke you up?
A gentleman of a fine age. I believe he was there to do research? I remember candles held over notes, scribbled on paper, ink stains on fingertips. He must have found me near my friend's study. I remember I was looking for her when... After I woke, I simply left. How rude and uninquisitive of me. I should have asked what he was researching. I could have helped.
Be glad you did not aid him. We found his notes. They spoke of the destruction of the universe.
Did the guy from the woods remind you of the one in the archives?
Oh. Now that you mention it... I wasn't conscious enough to recognize faces when I rose, but I knew the armor looked familiar. I think I saw it when I first reopened my eyes. Metaphorically, of course. I no longer have eyelids.
A necromancer's behind all this? Is he trying to break the sigils just to get to Tuat? The spirit dragon and the realm of death?
Sigils? Are you perchance speaking of the sigils of Alcahest? My friend was researching them once. I always thought them a wild figment of her imagination.
It seems like they're not, unfortunately.
Do necromancers usually want to destroy Tuat?
No. But they do defy his laws of life and death. Perhaps he craves access to all the souls the spirit dragon guards. Or he plans to destroy death once and for all with his perversions.
But, my dears, to destroy Tuat, one must find him first. That in and of itself would be quite the impossible task, no?
Not exactly. The spirit realm is well protected, but there are ways to get to him.
Can you kill death?
I don't know. But merely attempting it sounds disastrous.
Miss Anwar, Mr. Moore, Tuat is the god of death. No matter how insane this necromancer, no one could possess a weapon powerful enough to fight a god. Only weapons made by dragons can harm them. We all know this.
Oh yeah? Check out these guns. You mean like...
Heavens have mercy!
Oh my.
You mean like Ur's great axe?
A weapon forged for the dragons, by the dragons, meant only for their claws. The axe. It could certainly cut through the barrier between the astral sea and the upper world, if not through Tuat himself.
Would stealing an axe from a dragon count as a sigil?
Alright, y'all lost me again.
I talked about this already. Keep up.
I literally just got here.
Look, I'll explain later.
It might count as a sigil if it awakens or damages their plane.
Should not be awakened under any circumstances. Did get better glue for this thing. Nor should the legendary weapon fall into the hands of a mere mortal. My. This is quite concerning. Humbug.
I'm right there with you. This seems like too insane of a plot. Even for some big bad evil guy.
They always seem to be reaching for new heights in their dastardly schemes. If we are correct, this one plans to steal Ur's weapon, break their sigil, and then destroy Tuat. Dragons be with us.
Well, what about the undead creatures marching towards the capital?
They must be a distraction. A way to keep anyone who would interfere off his back.
Quite the dangerous distraction, if you ask me.
Those poor husks shouldn't be snacking away those roots either way, should they?
No.
And those sigils of alcohol zest you keep talking about could do what? Destroy the tree?
Close enough. Gold star.
Look, I'm too herbo for this.
The spirit realm rests above all others in the canopy of our world. If what we believe to be this monster's plan succeeds, it will collapse down onto the rest of the Aether Tree. Not only would that free all dead souls, it would destroy the tree, our home, our cosmos, and everything below it. It would destroy our world as we know it.
But I live there.
Not to mention, Tuat might die. I don't think I have to explain to you why death dying would be a bad thing.
Once again, can he die?
Wouldn't risk it.
Though, I believe this. Plot of his has to be limited somewhat, no? Perhaps to the transitional period between the astral moon and the dying moon. Only then would the veil between Cassiopeia and Tuat be thin enough for a ritual of such magnitude to succeed.
Wait. What you mean is, This can only happen the night of the 35th of Cassiopeia and the 1st of Tuat. So it can only work in 4 days. Or next year.
Precisely.
I guess you can't have a ritual without unnecessarily complicated rules.
It is common courtesy.
Clay, I've been wondering. Remember that man we saw on our way back near Morrow Castle?
Yeah. You think it might have been the same guy?
I do. Strange armor sounds familiar, as does the convenient proximity to destruction. And more so, that blood of the first vampire Kyle spoke of. Part of the ritual to safely traverse the astral sea involves having an associated anchor for your destination. To find Tuat, you need something connected to him.
Like the blood of a vampire eternally bound to him.
Yes. Maybe our villain got his hands on it. Perhaps he knows more of Cassiopeia than I anticipated.
All of this out of context is giving me a headache. Mollywalk. Innkeep, got another drink to spare to help with all this mess. Something powerful enough to get me through this.
Anything for you, Mom Kellen.
What was that?
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
So about these guns of yours.
Oh yeah, so
You should have seen them in action. It was marvelous. One strike, that was all it took. Hundreds of snails escargoted before your eyes.
that Hallex didn't stand a chance.
Guess you could say they were escargon.
I already made that joke!
It's true,
fair.
I did make that joke.
I wasn't
It was
there.
funnier when I said
She
it!
said it louder.
Yeah, you know what? I liked it more when she said it.
Funny. Just what?
Don't
She's my
worry,
friend, so
Innkeep.
I'm
I
biased.
think you're funny. Funny looking.
Nice one.
I put all the strength I have into this drink. Enjoy. I don't care.
It's not like you're blubbering like such a ninny right now. I think you just put parts of my sanity back together. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. It just came at the cost of my own.
So, this madman, if he can't get the axe, he can't kill the spirit dragon, right?
Correct.
Great. Let's stop him from getting the axe then.
Great idea.
I know. I think best when I have my muscles working at peak efficiency. Now, how do we do that?
Well, first the necromancer needs to find it. For that, he'd have to get to Ur's realm. Thanks to the portals, that is entirely within the realm of possibility. One would simply have to journey through one of the portals to the Twilight Chasm. And then enter the endless caves through the Nightmare Realm.
Nothing easier than that.
Didn't Melly see some weird new bone way markers near the Twilight Chasm portal in the Moon Swamps? Could they be there to remind someone, say, a necromancer, of the way to the portal?
They could.
Good. The moon pools are much easier to reach than Boreas. We should catch the necromancer before he ventures into the chasm, and most certainly before he gets the axe.
Great. Let's go beat his ass.
Hold on. What if you don't succeed? I have faith in you, but... He sounds powerful. How about a backup plan?
I hate to say it, but you're not wrong.
Thanks for looking out for us.
If we don't manage to stop him from getting the weapon, we stand no chance in a fight against him. Even your divine strikes would be of no match, Miss Anwar.
That is true. We would need an incredibly powerful weapon to match his.
Not sure if it's enough, but I do have this sword I got from my baba.
Let me see it. This is remarkable craftsmanship, infused with minor divine powers. Incredible. But I'm afraid even this cannot rival the Great Axe in any capacity.
What if it was mixed with dragon fire?
What?
Do you happen to have such a thing on you? On hand, young lad?
No, but I know where we can find some. The ever-burning flame in the highlands is dragon fire. The one you want to see, do ya? I think now would be a good time for that.
You're right. Dragonfire merged with Caroline's blessed sword? It wouldn't be as powerful as the axe, but it might give us a fighting chance. If we had a master craftsman to forge it, that is.
Rhea. She's a blacksmith.
You're right. There's no one better for the job. I'm sure she'd love to forge such a weapon. And I'm sure you can convince her of the importance, Galen.
You got that right. Leave the blacksmith recruiting to me.
Very well. I'm sure Master Smith Frostgrip will be delighted with this opportunity. Having her on our side makes me even more confident that we can stop this necromancer's plans. I have the utmost faith in us. And I know the aperture and its astral portal are well protected, even if we should fail. Though I don't believe we will. Because I know I'm strong enough to best this battle, and that Clay is as well.
And the others, too.
Yes, the others too.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure if the 4 of you would be enough.
Don't worry. There's a lot of people we can ask for help. Like you.
Like me? Ask away.
I knew we could count on you. You collect everything we talk about, right?
I try my best.
Could you write us up 2 quests for all of this? I think we should split our resources so we get the backup plan going at the same time.
Oh, hopping good idea, young man.
Plus, that'll give us an excuse to have your drinks help us.
Not that you need an excuse, but I appreciate you following my rituals. I'll see what I can do. I should have something written up first thing in the morning.
I trust in you as you trust in us.
Deeply? I hope?
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness.
Deeply, and with the knowledge that together we are stronger.
Wow.
Don't give me that look, Clay.
I can't lie to you.
We'll see you in the morning then. Caroline, come with us. We owe you a few explanations before we make you do any persuasion work for us.
You got that right. Let's go.
Cassiopeia, never test me like this again.
Oh, I cannot miss out on more possible details. I shall see you in the morning, Innkeep. Tell Pip.
Hey, barkeep. Thank you for all your help. Let's save the world, alright?
Let's, Clay. Good luck. We did it!
That right there was a test of fucking faith.
Yeah!
I would not. I would not be a proper producer if it wasn't. If I didn't make sure to get the good read.
Was it doing that the entire time, though?
No.
That specific line.
Weird.
Yeah.
It did not.
Holds the
really
mochas
random.
very gently.
Yeah.
Like you're fine like 95% of the time, and then just randomly you cut out on one line. It was just that one.
I
line.
said it like I shit you not like 14 times.
I believe it.
None of them.
Pure silence.
We only heard you say it like 4 times.
What?
Yeah, none of them came through. It was really weird.
Way to push through.
We did it.
It's
alright. This gives us plenty of time to make quests. All right, we got that one.
Quest
We
time.
got-
Is this because I told Clay no to the glitter the first time? Because I came around on it. I did. I even offered to buy him tea candles.
Well, took you long enough.
I blame you.
All right. This one and this one and this one. Yeah, good that. First try each one of those.
Well done, Innkeep. Applause, applause.
I remembered how to work my brain. Let's go. We did it. And we are on our way to the last one. I think it is time to take. I think we have all definitely earned a little bit of a break. So I'm going to hit I'm going to hit the ad break, and we'll see y'all in
Grab some
just a little bit.
drinks.
And with that, let us grab the controller and move back on over to our final scene of the day. But still a hefty one. We're probably going to need to take an ad break in the middle, but Act 3, The Twilight Flood, Chapter 22, Twilight, Zinnias. We got it. Good morning. Slept well?
That greeting ain't gonna do, Innkeep. Give me your best lines. I'll hear them all today.
All right. Top of the morning to you, adventurer. I can't do an Irish accent. I'm sorry. Is that offensive? I can't.
At least follow through.
Go on.
Peace and contentment be upon you, travelers.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet water and good deals on sound equipment, friends.
All right, enough.
You seem to be in high spirits.
Is that a dwarf joke?
I.
Not often you get the chance to work on a project of a lifetime.
I'm glad you're so passionate about this. I hope you didn't give Kaelin too hard of a time convincing you.
Nah. Once I mentioned Dragonfire, it would have been harder to stop her from going on the quest. Was just tough to find her. Didn't take you for a nighttime soup enjoyer.
I'm not, usually. I can be persuaded, though, with the right soup and company.
I assume your quest for comfort food turned out successful?
Not at all. It was thwarted by the shadow of night. Dearest Rhea promised we shall endeavor to make shortbread another day when the sun is high in the sky. And the stores are open.
You get this off me.
I'll need to make that sword first, though.
Did Kaelin update you on what's at stake?
What's a steak?
Steak. Sure did.
Those Silgic of alcoholic zest won't know what hit them when they see my newly forged weapon.
That's not what
Word for word, I told her everything.
It's sigils of Alkahest.
That's what I said, alcoholic zest.
Gesundheit.
That's my joke, Kyle! So, I assume you worked out a game plan.
More or less.
Not like we've got a lot of info on the quest of yours.
I'm sorry?
Aye, you worked with what you had. We'll manage. Though, if that ever-burning flame of Leviathan sounds more like a myth than something real.
Yeah, like some sort of eternal flame. I bet that's some sort of fictional game reference. Sounds exactly like something you need for a mythical weapon, capable of saving the world.
Ha! Still, if you're sure you're okay with reforging your sword to this care.
Yes, it's the right thing to do.
That wasn't what I was asking about. Believe me, I know a thing or two about the importance of an heirloom.
That's fine. It's just... I wonder if I'll still feel the same connection to my Baba when I look at the sword afterwards. Eventually, everything she gazed at in life will be gone.
Don't you think she'd like looking at the sword of Kaelin the hero?
That has quite a wonderful ring to it.
I didn't know your grandma, but reforging that sword with the dragonfire to save the world, I think she would have been mighty proud of you. And I'll make sure that weapon is the best anyone swung this side of the Aether Tree.
You have a competition to win after all.
Exactly. I've been thinking all night about what techniques to use. The design ain't exactly final, but I'll finish it during our trip to the Highlands if I'm fast enough.
Brea, are you doing okay?
You never heard of giving someone time to think?
You seem to be putting a lot of pressure on yourself.
This can't be just some simple run-of-the-mill weapon. And there's so much to decide before starting the forging process. Hitting, quenching, tapering.
And the 5 Verican heat treatment techniques.
And the 5... wait. That could actually work! I'm surprised you still remember those.
Certainly. You were very passionate about the method.
I'm just stoked to get a weapon made by you, Rhea. If it's you, I know my Baba's sword is in good hands.
You seem to have the forging part covered. Anything planned for the rest of the quest?
Right. Since we don't really know much about who or what might be guarding the flame, we're taking Hex along. Should we encounter any defenses of the, magical sort. As for how to get to the Highlands, Clay and Tia couldn't come along, so... Let's hope Baya is up for helping us with her tree travel thing.
Seems you've got a lot of your bases covered. You as the main fighter, Rhea as the craft master, Hex and Baya as magical support, and Kyle as...
I'm afraid I won't be able to fill a role this time, Innkeeper. I tried to distract myself, but the mere thought of dear Evelyn hurt and alone, or worse. It struck me with a torment strong enough to make even this undead heart bleed with worry. No matter what transpired between us, all I craved was to know her safe. But to allow my dear friends to march into danger alone was no less distressing.
It was almost inconsolable the entire evening.
I didn't want to choose one side, only to lose the other forever.
That's when I slammed my empty bowl of soup down on the table between us. We weren't gonna go off and die just because he took his eyes off of us for a few days.
And yet, that very fate had struck me several times in the past.
I said, well, 'twould be damned if you ever get to see me master a weapon! Doesn't matter if I have to chew my way through that tree myself! Heard the dead have a taste for bark anyways!
It was as if those words washed away most of the anguish that was ailing my soul. Surely, it was time to believe in the future. And to reconcile with the past I left behind, all for my most cherished people. As long as I didn't forget along the way.
But we found a workaround for that.
Flashcards!
You're flashing nobody!
I just need to pull them out and be greeted by the wonderful cards prepared for me by Ray and Carolyn. Even though they may be far from me.
That sounds great, Kyle.
There's one about you as well.
I'm honored.
It's your blood.
What?
Nothing.
Seems you've thought of everything then.
Hopefully.
Some help for your drinks would be mighty appreciated nonetheless.
Anything particular in mind? Some fire resistance seemed like it'd come in pretty handy.
That does sound reasonable.
We could focus on agility, if we already go in that direction. Don't think we want to take whatever traps we'd run into head on.
And add some strength as well, for anything we can avoid.
That and the fire resistance should definitely help with forging the weapon as well.
And your blood.
Though that ghost berry I brought you yesterday, I wouldn't mind some invisibility either. Might give us some imaginative ways to deal with whatever challenges we end up facing. Concentrating on intelligence to take full advantage of that sounds like a good option too.
Hex would like that.
I bet. Knowing him, there's an equal chance of his ideas going right or horribly wrong. If things go south, we'll need the charm to talk our way out of anything.
And this way, dear Evelyn will be stunned by my most captivating entrance.
Sounds decent.
Some intelligence could also help with figuring out those techniques you mentioned.
And my design, I guess. All right, Innkeep. You look like you're bursting to help us out with this decision. Is it going to be dexterity with some strength as backup and fire resistance, or should we approach this with intelligence and a small dose of charisma in case things go really wrong? And some handy invisibility.
Well, if you're asking me... Good question. You know what? You did say that it would make Hex happy, and I would like to make Hex happy. So I think the intelligence would indeed be the way to go. So do this.
What's that in your drink?
Nothing.
Looks like a corpse of something, you know.
It's just a
streamer.
ghost. It's just a ghost berry.
You put a little hat on it. It looks familiar.
Little blue. No, it's not copyright infringement. I promise you. There's no witch hat that needs to be added in the shape of an art palette. It's fine.
It's a snow coconut. A snow coconut.
If you want to forge that weapon properly, it might be best to reserve your strength. Also, anyone guarding the flame would be pretty invested in the dragon's well-being. So, here, to solving the challenges ahead of you cleverly.
Appreciate it, Innkeeper. I think this will put us on the right track.
And with that, we're off to the Highlands. Me and Ka are gonna go grab Hex. And before I let him go check on his ex-wife, you go get Baya.
Sure.
Good. All right, that's it, Innkeep. All right, that's it, Innkeep. One last line for good luck. Make it count.
Good luck, have fun. Mind the creaky step on your way out.
Fair. Fare thee well, dear Innkeeper.
And dear?
Don't let it go to your head. Kinda weird, isn't it?
What is?
The fact that there's an Andu on that novelty mug that somebody bought somewhere else, like how do they even know?
He's very marketable. In fact, it'd be really neat if there was a marketable plushie.
They should make that a makeship or something. I hear it's a great. There's gonna be a battle for the fate of the world. But Elfie ain't even here to worry themselves stupid about it. They'd have loved this, I think. Not the impending doom, but all this getting together to defeat evil stuff. Make sure to tell those guys heading to the Twilight portal to keep an eye out for him.
I will.
Good. Suppose it's time for me to head out as well.
Stay safe, Kaelin.
Always, Innkeeper.
Innkeeper, we have returned.
I can see that, Tia. I was awaiting you. Though I'm surprised to see you here, Jade.
Yeah, well, Miss Holier Than Thou dragged me along. Some insert expletive here about finally doing my part.
I distinctly remember you expressing open interest in our plight when we were talking to Inako. I believe you asked multiple questions that indicated your desire to help.
And I remember asking how much he'd pay, and you said nothing. So I said, no thanks.
And yet you didn't resist coming along.
Do you have a better job lined up, Jade?
Not yet. Inako and I are eyeing something, but I guess I've got some time to kill.
Perhaps Iniko can help too, then?
They better. Not sure if I can deal with Princess here alone.
No need to deal with me. I can handle myself.
I'd love to have Iniko on the team.
Me too.
I assume you've written us a quest, Innkeeper?
I have. Take a look.
Excellent work.
I knew we could count on you.
Let me have a look at that. We just have to catch the guy at the portal. Seems simple enough. We could even set up an ambush.
Or be sneaky if he's already there.
You can sneak, big guy?
Oh, I can do a lot of things. A few years back, I spent time with some Lilithic Panthers who showed me how to sneak up on anybody. I just don't like doing it. You know, seems a little bit rude, you know?
No, I don't.
But I think this situation calls for a little rudeness.
Agreed. It does. And for a little more manpower. You're right, Innkeeper. We should ask Inako for help. Also, Hex suggested taking Voy along. He's great at distractions and knows his way around the Twilight Chasm, should our quest lead into it. Apparently, he has family there, though I hope we don't need to disturb them.
Anyone else?
We considered a whole lot more, but Scully and Grace made a good point.
They said not everyone is battle-tested, and it'd be reckless to take inexperienced adventurers along. They also said we should look more into backup plans for the backup plan. I think they just want an excuse to do some research, and to stay away from the bloodshed.
Can't blame them.
Melly really wanted to come too, but Dave said no.
Is he coming himself?
Of course. Made these two ask him before we got here. We need good fighters, and the kid's got talent.
I hope he said goodbye properly this time.
Carolyn made sure he did. Never saw a more terrifying death glare in my whole life. It was very impressive.
It was.
So, are you finished with your questions?
Actually, could you review the plan for me one more time? It's been a long couple of weeks.
Sure. So, listen up. We make it to the Twilight portal by the moon pools, and we stop our big, bad, evil insert expletive here from going through. If we fail that, or if he's faster than us, we chase him through the Twilight Chasm and into Ur. And we prevent him from getting that fancy axe. And if that fails, well...
We stop him at all costs.
Sounds like a good plan. While you're at it, will you keep an eye out for Fable for me?
Of course.
Now, Innkeeper, by the dragons and all that is holy in this world, can we count on your help again?
Yes, of course. What do you need?
Easy. We just need to be quicker than that maniac. We should be the first to reach the portal. And we should be the first to attack him, all while dodging his counterattacks. Outspeeding him seems like the smartest option here.
You're wrong.
Oh yeah?
As usual. It is foolish to think his strikes won't be powerful. We need to be well protected against him, so we can take him down before he really hurts any of us.
Don't be stupid. If we're fast enough, he won't even get a chance to hurt us.
I'd like you to say that again while you're lying in a pool of your own blood.
Okay. Look, maybe we need both. Look, it's just the balance that counts. We could focus on a whole lot of defense, but keep some dexterity in our back pocket. And maybe some of those fast infusion thingies could make up the difference.
I could hasten you with some golden feathers or saber fangs.
Ooh, great idea. I love the emphasis on some of these words. Alternatively, you could give us a lot of dexterity instead, with just a sprinkle of defense on top. And to make sure we don't get hurt, you can give us some of that frost armor Scully keeps talking about.
Sure thing. I've got enough frozen pine cones left for that.
I don't think Jade and Tia can make a decision without bloodshed, so think you could help us out?
Smart man.
Of course. I know just what to do.
Reasonable.
And that's to not make Tia mad at me, so we're going to go with defense.
Very good
Looks like
idea.
you've learned quite a bit.
Coward.
Yes, I am.
How does it feel to be wrong?
I'm not wrong. He's a coward.
I'm not a
Sorry,
coward.
that's my
I'm very,
bestie. I'm
I'm
siding
very
with her.
brave. I'm so brave. Bravely pouring defense. And even adding charisma to balance out.
Add a keep.
I'm gonna just shake my head over this one.
Yeah.
Defense should be your number one priority. But I think haste makes for a good backup plan. You can never have enough of those.
See, I was right. As usual. You chose the right focus, Innkeeper.
Ugh. At least we'll be fast, so I don't have to listen to you gloat much longer. Let's get this over with.
All right, Clay, let's go. Clay?
You should. I.
Are you okay?
No. No, I don't think so. I just. Look. Aren't you scared?
Have you seen your own arms? You'll be fine. Of what?
All of this. The fate of the world is a very heavy weight to bear, don't you think? What if someone gets hurt and I can't stop it? What if I can't protect you and the others and the world and the ferrets and...
Clay, stop. Please, for a moment, just stop. I know this is scary. Truth be told, I'm scared too. My whole life has been building up to this moment. I've always been told I'm meant to save people, and if I can't, what's the point of me, you know?
You are the point. I'm glad you exist, even if you don't save anyone. You're not some mythical savior. You're my friend.
And you are mine. And I'm a little less afraid because I have you with me. You taught me how to value myself as a person, despite all the weight on my shoulders. I wish you would do the same for yourself. I promise you, together we will get through this. And we will save each other and our friends, and the world and all of the ferrets. And the innkeeper while we're at it.
Thank you. I appreciate being included. Fear is a powerful motivator. Use it. If you're scared that they'll get hurt, channel all your fear into making sure they don't.
So, use my fear for strength. Just like with anger.
Exactly. Don't let him use it against you. Strike him down with it.
I think... Yeah, I can work with that. Look, can we just hold hands on the way there? You know, so it's a little less scary.
Of course. Now who's my brave little pogchamp?
I am.
Good boy. And remember, you can never lose me. Your bracelet will always tell you exactly where I am. And if you get lost somehow, despite your impeccable sense of orientation, mine will help me find you too.
You just get lost looking.
Maybe I'd have to ask Jade for help. I'd do that for you.
Thank you, Tia. You really are a great best friend.
I'm... oh! So are you. All right then, best bud? Let's do this. Together.
Best of luck.
We won't need it.
You must have made them some really good drinks, Innkeeper. I've never seen Clay that determined.
I tried my best. I have to say, Grace, I'm surprised you're not accompanying Hex to see the ever-burning flame.
She didn't want to stop studying the magic spells. She thinks they might help us solve all of this.
I think what might help me right now is a drink. Something that'll get my thoughts flowing gracefully despite all this mess.
Give me a moment. Let's see here. Something for the brain. What's good? You know what? We can't go wrong with an old reliable, but let's spice it up a little. If you want thoughts, I got them. A little bit of
All the
purple,
wrinkles.
little bit of yellow, and then, you know what? We don't need defense because you're staying on the back line, so we're just gonna dump a fuckload more purple in there.
I have no AC.
A delicious thought detangler. Just for you.
I don't think I've ever tasted detangler as delicious as this.
I've tasted several brands. Head and Shoulders is my favorite. What?
Oh.
You've tasted the Tangler? I don't think you're supposed to taste that.
Melly, would you like a drink as well?
Are we really just gonna skip over that? But no, thank you.
It was for science.
I've already had 3 hot chocolates today. I think if any more magic enters my system, I'm going to eat the sun.
Oh. Well, on to another topic then. I heard you formed a research team?
We did! Obviously, Grace and I are the leaders, but we also recruited Scully and Archie. And Una says she wanted to sit with us and crochet while we work.
What a great excuse to help.
She insists we don't call it helping.
Of course she does.
Rufus is helping us too. His wool is so soft it calms everyone down. I wish Steve would join us too. But I guess he's busy fighting the mean guy. But he promised he'd be back soon, so...
And he'd better keep that promise.
What are you looking into, anyway? Melly mentioned spells? Are those the ones Hex found in the tower?
Yes, those ones exactly. He stayed up all night decoding their formulas, but... as soon as he figured out what they were about, he lost interest. So I picked them up. Most of them were rudimentary, all things we already have in our spellbooks. But two stuck out to me.
Care to educate me?
Which one do you want to hear about first? Teleportation or soul binding?
Teleportation.
One of the scrolls he found holds a powerful teleportation spell. Now, I fancy myself quite equipped at conjuration magic, but Hex finds it boring. He picked the scroll up because he assumed the golden runes meant it was special. He was right, but I guess it didn't have enough fire for him.
How is it special?
I think, if cast correctly, it could get you anywhere in Asteria with incredible accuracy. Even to protected places and other planes. But... I'm trying to figure out how to use it without destroying myself. It requires more mana than people usually have in their body.
So, you think it'd kill its caster?
Almost certainly so. It still has a lot of promise. Maybe I can modify it.
What about the other scroll?
The other scroll... Hex brought home a glass case with a glowing, floating scroll inside. After we got it out and removed all the protective runes, he was pretty disappointed.
A riddle-locked glass case and protective runes? Seems like someone didn't want it to be used.
I'm pretty sure I know why. It describes pulling souls right out of people's bodies and binding them to objects. Completely volatile magic, and dangerous, I assume. It's been a little hard to translate. I'm trying to figure out any side effects it may have. So I can convince Hex not to use it whenever he's slightly inconvenienced.
Good luck with that.
Thank you. Hex also brought back a lot of the wizard's personal notes. Diaries and such, retellings of his exploits, of his hopes, dreams, and fears. When I have some more time, I think I'll be able to do a deep dive into who he was. Maybe I can even put a little exhibition together. If Voya and Iniko let me borrow some of those magic items...
I doubt they dare refuse you.
I'd hope not.
I want some magic scrolls of my own to decipher. But first we need to finish this research. Just because we need to figure out what to do if...
It's just nice to have something to do, is all. Maybe you'll get a magical scroll for Christmas.
I hope so!
If you're a very, very good cat, you might even get 2. But I'll take any excuse to hear more of Scully's Everbloom stories.
He's trying to figure out whether we can reverse the sigils. That'd be pretty neat.
Maybe you can duct tape them back together.
I don't know about that one. With Archie's help, I also made this whole board where I could collect and connect all of our clothes. Specific spaghetti.
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 Specifically.
Specifically. I've been looking into exactly what the necromancer guy could be. Clay said he noticed some flowers on his armor, and I think that might be a clue. Maybe he's a florist. Or they're zombie flowers. Or he wants to destroy all the flowers. I need to figure out what his motive is. Because if we can figure out his motive, we can figure out who he is. And then we can figure out his weakness. Not that we'll need them, because Dave and the others will. What did you say? Kick his abs. Yeah, that. But looking into it makes me...
Calmer?
Yes! They'll be alright, right, Innkeeper? The zombies aren't going to eat them like they ate my parents, right?
They won't. They'll all protect each other. He'll come back for you.
I hope so. I don't want that to happen again. I miss my parents. I wish they were here all my again.
What were they like?
Well, I remember my dad always told me bedtime stories about swashbuckling burglars. And I remember my mom loved making things out of yarn, especially socks. They were really nice and cool, and I loved them so much.
I know I can't replace your parents, but is it okay if I hold your hand until Dave, Carolyn, and Fable come back?
That'd be nice. I feel a lot safer with them around, you know? Like I'm home again.
You are home.
I think so too. But enough dramatic backstory. I'm turning into Dave.
No one wants to turn into Dave.
Yeah, he's such an edgy dude. But you know, I guess just less depressing gay for Fable.
Maybe it's time to head out.
Damn, just calling him. You know what? Valid. Understandable.
I see it.
We'll update you on our research tomorrow, Innkeeper, but first...
We're going to get a lot of ice cream!
Exactly. Una promised she'd make some.
Well, save some for me.
We'll try.
Especially if it's choco mint. It's my favorite. Ah. Hello there. It's been a while since you last showed up. I thought something might have happened to you.
A lot of things have happened. Not all of them good. Which also means not all of them were bad either. I did end up finding those golden loon feathers quickly, with a little help from Voyage. But with everything going down, I decided to stick around and help those in need.
Sounds just like you.
How are things with you, though? You don't need to say much for me to know what that face means. I've seen it once or twice before. Is there something I can do for you?
What is there to be done, Quincy? It's like everything's in limbo.
Like dancing on the edge of a blade? One wrong move and it's over?
Something like that.
Would it help if I asked you for a drink?
Maybe.
You know what always helps me when I'm feeling down?
What?
A good cup of Quincy's hot chocolate. Here, after all I've heard, you might need it more than me.
Thank you. It's very kind of you.
Now, go on. Make me a drink. This one, or another one. Whatever you'd like.
Well, I mean, you did just give me.
I mean, I
hot
gave
chocolate
you a
recipe.
drink specifically, and it always makes me feel better. But hey, I mean, it's your bar. I won't tell you how to do it.
You're just, elegantly nudging me in.
Yeah, there's no knife in your back.
It's fine. There's definitely no bow painted at my head either. It's fine. I'm definitely making you this hot chocolate of my own free will.
We love free will around here.
I couldn't wait to try it out right away.
Well, you replicated it perfectly. My hands and heart are warm. You want a sip yourself? You look like you could need it.
Maybe later. We can't show indirect kisses on stream,
Oh, right.
May this drink be warmer than the currents of these times.
It most certainly is. Thank you, Innkeeper.
Of course.
So, how are you?
I'm losing my mind.
Understandable.
It feels like an underreaction. It feels like there are a million different emotions whirling around in my head, almost none of them good. And if they are good, my worries twist them into something horrifying. That doesn't seem fair.
I don't know if emotions can be fair or unfair. Either way, it's good to feel things. Reminds you you're alive.
I'd like to feel a little less.
We all say that. Until we suddenly do. And then we wish we weren't so empty. Isn't it good to care again? To have people you want to be well?
Maybe I didn't think I'd care again. I didn't want to.
But it just happened?
Yes. Just like that. Without my consent, I might add.
The heart wants what it wants. And sometimes what it wants is friendship. But I can see how that's a scary feeling. So many things are on the line now. Perhaps more than you bargained for.
It was easier when I just looked away.
Would you rather look away than help your patrons? Your friends?
No. But now I have to face the fear of losing them.
Funny.
Funny?
Didn't you swear to me you were done fearing death? That you had nothing left to lose?
Sometimes lying to ourselves is easier than lying to others, I guess.
I'll keep my I told you so to myself.
I just feel like I'm stuck in an endless cycle, and there's no way out. It doesn't tear me apart.
Would it help you to know we've all felt like that at some point in our lives?
Not really, no.
It doesn't usually. Then let me leave you with this instead. Love may come at the price of loss, but the inevitability of loss also comes with the reward of love. You can't lose something without having loved it. And so, you should love whatever it is you fear to lose. Those are the moments that matter. The moments that make your life worth living. Besides, you have the power to step out of that cursed circle anytime.
Do I?
Write your own story, my friend. Don't doom yourself because you think it's what you deserve.
I forgot how good you are at giving advice. Makes me a bit envious.
Hey, you'll get there eventually.
I hope so. Thanks for checking in. I think I needed that.
Of course. And please, don't stop reaching out. The safety of isolation is not worth the loneliness.
I'll try to remember that.
You better. Now, I heard the night market is close by, and I really don't want to waste this opportunity, so...
Don't let me hold you back.
Until next time, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, and be safe out there. Taking this with me.
Of course. Why don't I get a catchphrase? Oh well. Guess it comes with age. Maybe next millennium.
Hello.
Greetings, traveler. Nice armor. Is it new?
No. Doesn't it seem familiar?
The flowers certainly do. Did you keep my books?
You know, I imagined this place differently. It's nice.
Thank you.
But I thought you'd be long gone by now. After all, you like running, don't you?
I like it here. Though, your visit is making me consider moving soon.
It's not advised to stay in one place for too long anyway. Eventually, the past will catch up to you.
I figured. What brings you here really, Quasar?
You know, this and that. I paid Marrow Castle a visit. It's quite serene this time of year.
What for?
Sightseeing. Trespassing.
You broke in?
I wouldn't phrase it like that. Burglary is incredibly impolite. I was persistent in my approach. Politely, I knocked on the door. Unfortunately, vampires these days have no hospitality. The lady of the house greeted me with a snarl and slammed the door in my face. Not like that stopped me, but I found it quite rude.
So, you did break in?
Obviously, as a last resort. There was something I needed more than manners. As expected, she wouldn't give up her precious relic freely.
So you killed her?
I would've, but no, the rat escaped. In the blink of an eye, she dissolved into mist. I always consider that to be a vampire's most annoying skill. But at least I got what I wanted.
What would that be?
Curious as ever, aren't you?
That's why I made it my job.
What? Being nosy?
Something like that. I get to hear a lot of things every day. People like to talk.
You manipulate your patrons into telling you their darkest secrets?
I don't manipulate. I listen. I'm all ears. What would Lady Evelyn have that you, Quasar Duskbringer, would want?
Ooh, such venom to those words. Just a little blood. Ingredients for the execution of a grand design.
Grand design? We were never ones to make big plans.
Speak for yourself.
Maybe times changed you. Oddly enough, you still look the same.
I had to make sure you'd recognize me after all.
How could I ever forget you?
Seems like it was pretty easy for you to move on.
It wasn't.
Yet you're hiding. You ran away from everything that once mattered to build a life behind a counter in a shabby tavern.
Is that why you're here? Just throw your accusations around?
No. I guess I just wanted one last chat, now that everything's coming to an end. And I'm curious about how this old friend of mine is doing. So, how are you doing, friend?
I'm worried the world we know will end.
That doesn't worry me one bit. It can only go up from here.
For you. How are you doing?
Do you even want to know?
It's my job. And my tavern is open to everyone.
Your protective spells beg to differ.
They let you through, didn't they? So, How about a drink? Then you can tell me whatever it is you need to get off your chest.
Sure. Let's see if you still know me well enough. And if you remember what I taught you.
Of course I do. Just give me a minute. Give you a drink. The heart back in your body. You don't get any special ingredients, though. Those are for my kind customers.
Someone's feeling catty.
Just take it.
Cute pet.
How about this? Sweet and chatty.
Not bad. Almost tastes like back in the day.
Did you think I'd forget?
Yes. I assumed you're as good at abandoning memories as you are at abandoning people.
Ouch.
It seems like people are right about one thing, though.
That would be?
Your drinks can influence fate. They can't save people, but they can push them in a direction, alter their destiny.
I wouldn't go that far. I simply do my best to support my patrons in their endeavors.
Will you support my endeavor?
As I said, I serve everyone in this tavern.
How noble. How awfully morally gray. How opportunistic. It's like nothing's changed.
I like it that way.
Making decisions for people, leading them to their doom. All because you can't help but wonder what a little entropy would do.
I help.
You help. Sure. You always liked to help. When it was most convenient for you. When it got people to love you. I hope all your helping has aided you in forgetting them.
I didn't forget them.
Oh, is that so? I couldn't sleep for months. My heart bled and bled until there's nothing left to bleed. I was alone. And by the end of it, when nothing was left, there was just one question. How could the one person I trusted with my life turn on me like that? How dare he leave me with nothing but the stars, staring at them alone? Wondering whether the blood would ever wash off. And how, by the dragons and their false light. Is all you've done with your freedom, this dastardly achieved freedom, this. There's still blood on our hands. It took me way too long to realize that I didn't have to give up. That I'm not like you. That it doesn't have to be their blood that sticks to my hands.
They're gone.
Not for much longer. Soon the star rain and the flood that washed away our yesterday will open the gates to a new tomorrow. A new horizon, unhaunted by still ghosts.
Quasar,
Innkeeper.
why would you do something like this?
Don't we owe it to them? The you I knew would have agreed.
The me you knew was foolish. Some situations are hopeless, and some decisions aren't easy.
Decisions are quite easy if you set your mind to it. Say I need to tear apart Cassiopeia's wings for the stars to rain upon Gaia.
An ambitious task?
I could decide not to, and abandon my plans because I'm intimidated by the complexity. Or scared of the consequences. But no. Instead, I choose to stick with it and get what I want. I don't give up. I succeed. It truly is that simple. If you care, you'll get it done, no matter how much effort it may take.
Everyone was dead!
I wasn't. Didn't we promise to always stand by each other's side? To never be alone again?
We did.
Didn't they deserve the same?
They did.
Then why are you here and they aren't?
I don't know.
Me neither. What did we mean to you? Nothing! We meant nothing to you. The home we built, it meant so little.
It's not true!
Do you still ponder about the meaning of life? Watching the stars?
No. There aren't any anymore.
It's better that way. It means there's no risk of getting caught up in trivial things.
Getting caught up in the thought of a world without pain.
Like that.
So naive.
So stupid.
It meant everything to me!
Don't lie to me! I've seen through the charade. Your tricks don't work on me anymore. Look at the stars now as they lie at our feet. A declaration of your failure, an elegy to your cowardice. And a demonstration of my endurance. Everything is set. Everyone will get what they deserve. Even your little replacements. Soon there'll be no more but a fading memory on the horizon. Feels familiar, doesn't it?
They're alive. They can be saved.
They are alive, indeed. What you should ask yourself is, for how much longer? And if the time comes, will you run again?
No.
But you sent them to their deaths, did you not?
I sent them to stop you.
I'm aware. Which reminds me, I'll have to leave soon before your little pawns interfere with my threads of fate. Gertrude, Come on. It's time to go home.
Interesting. Care to explain?
I sent you a little companion so you wouldn't be so alone. But I need her back now.
You know I value my privacy.
And I value the perfect execution of my plans. So thank you for collecting so much information for me.
You don't have to do this!
I don't. But I will. Anyway, I got somewhere to be. Speaking of which, my invitation, the offer still stands. Join me and watch as I repair what you've destroyed 30 years ago. Join me to witness the renaissance of times past.
I can't. My place is here.
What a pity. It almost pains me to see you haven't changed one bit.
I've moved on. You should try it sometime.
Spoken like a true coward. It's not like I need you anyway. Not anymore. See you soon, old friend.
Or not. So that's where we're ending on today.
Jesus.
Holy shit. Holy fuck.
Okay, so in the
Crash.
politest way possible.
Christ.
Well, that
What
was
the
spooky,
hell?
wasn't it?
The fucking bird was a drone the entire time!
The birds aren't real, they're all spies from the government.
We're getting spied on by the government.
That's our government? Oh, fuck!
You just got pranked.
I mean,
That's why they.
let's not go there. Let's.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, man. You want to know the bad news?
What?
Now you have to sit on this for 3 weeks.
Cheers.
Oh man. At
That,
least
like,
3 weeks.
hurts
hopefully
physically.
not longer. But it at least gives people plenty of time. Because I know that Queen Bee Mash, thank you for the raid, and also Whatchamacallit and Ray, thank you so much for the raid today's. Before we go any further, let me just have a quick goodbye from our VC, so that I have a place to cut for the YouTube VOD. So my lovely cast today can say a quick goodbye to YouTube, and then we'll move on to the yapping.
Have a fun 3 weeks. The world is going to end very soon. Have fun with that knowledge.
And so that is a wrap on episode 6 of our Acolyte live dub of Tavern Talk. I know, it was a hell of a cliffhanger to leave y'all on, but trust me, the planning and everything, the payoff, oh boy. It's gonna be so worth it. Speaking of the payoff, so this episode is obviously coming out a little bit later than I had wanted, because I was busy with scheduling stuff, and I realized that I needed to make sure that I had the date for the finale of the live dub locked in, so I could, advertise it here. So I had to make sure that that was locked in before anything else. But good news, video's out, which means I got the date locked in. So if you are wanting to catch the finale of this wonderful story live on my Twitch, then you will want to tune in on Saturday, October 5th, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific, our usual start time. We'll be going a little bit later on this one to give credit to all of the cast members and everything. But in general, story-wise, it should take about the same amount of time. So, plus, even if you don't catch it live, you can always catch all of the edited Livedub VODs, including the finale, on this channel. And you can even help us out more by hitting the like button on the video and the subscribe button on the channel itself. Plus, if you want to catch any of my other variety streams live, you can check out my Twitch at twitch.tv/AKLTrifecta, where I'm live on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, always starting at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And lastly, if you want to check out any of my other social medias, such as Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, and even our community Discord, you can find all of those in the description below. So, for now, though, like I always say, stay casual and stay cool. And in a couple of weeks, we hope to see you on the final episode of the Acolyte Livedub of Tavern Talk. See you then!